Hey, good morning YouTube. How's everybody doing today? Today I'm going to work on my farm gates that I recently installed here on the property. Today I'm going to install some automatic gate openers that will allow me to open the gate by remote control. I'm going to get started here this morning. I'm going to show you everything that I'm going to use for this project. I'm using the Ghost controls that I picked up, and I'm going to show you everything that I am using for this particular install. So I'm out here early in the morning and just gonna walk and open the gate so I can show you guys what I'm working with, or what I've been working on. I'm trying to get an early start because it gets really hot, and it's been really hot out. It's been really humid. We've been having temperatures in nearly the triple digits basically. So I'm gonna unlock this gate and we're gonna get this thing started here this morning. Get this gate open. So when I pan the camera around, as you notice, I got two gates here on the property, two farm gates. The total length of it is 24 foot. Okay, these are 24 foot gates. Okay. So what I had to do was actually dig a trench because I'm going to run the conduit here on the ground. I'm going to run the conduit. I had to dig a trench through this gravel asphalt, man, and it was really tough. The tool that I actually use, this thing here, man, it was the only way that I can bust through this gravel. So if you guys are going to install a gate opener to a dual gate, just keep in mind that you're gonna have to run a trench. If you have a single gate, you don't have to run a trench. Okay, so there's the trench that I actually dug, and I'm going to lay some conduit down, and then I'm going to cover this back up. I'm going to install what they call Ghost controls. It's an automatic gate opener. Ghost controls is a popular brand, so I decided to go with it. And I'm going to install two gate openers. Now they work by solar, or you can actually connect them via AC power. For my install, I'm gonna go with solar. Okay, I'm gonna go with solar. So I'm gonna pan the camera around and just kind of show you guys what I have. Okay, I got this thing brand new. I'll include a link where I picked up these Ghost controls. I'm gonna get this stuff unboxed. I got a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna get this stuff unboxed, and then I'm gonna show you exactly what we're getting, exactly what I'm getting with the Ghost control dual gate openers. So I'll check back with you guys in a minute. So now that I have this stuff taken out of the box, I'm gonna show you what all came with the Ghost control dual gate opener. Okay, it came with these two openers. Okay, and one has a shorter cord and the other one has a longer cord, and this is going to go along the trench. Also, what came in the kit is the hardware. So it's coming with some brackets. It's coming with some brackets. All this came in one box, and then this is a duplicate box over here of stuff that came with the Ghost control. Okay, also that came with the Ghost control is I guess this would be like the brain box. Open this up. There's all the controls there. Okay, we'll take a closer look at this once we're ready to get this stuff installed. Also, it came with some instructions. Okay, installation instructions, and it also got a little screwdriver in there for those little small screws. Okay, so it came with that. Also, it came with this solar panel bar that holds the solar panel, and this is the actual solar panel. Okay, and We'll take a look at this here in a little bit, but this is the solar panel. Set that down. So a lot of stuff that we got to get put in. It came with that. Also, it came with a cable to hook to a battery, because we're going to be running this off of solar. It came with the brackets for the solar panels, and it came with the hardware. Okay, so we got all of the hardware, and these will be the controllers. We got some remote controls in here. I'll show you this here in a minute once we get everything finally put in. Okay, so we got everything we need to install the dual gate openers. Now, one thing that it didn't come with is this here. This is the battery box. I ordered this separately. Okay, and inside of this thing is coming with these batteries. They already charged. Okay, we got some batteries in there, and this is just going to be the battery box, because this thing is going to run solar. Came with a little sticker too. Okay, I guess the sticker would go there. Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later, but I had to pay for this separately. Now, one of the reasons why I went with Ghost Control, like I said, it's a pretty popular brand, and then you can get different attachments like gate lock, sensors. You can get wireless keypad. You can get the Bluetooth controller. So there's a lot of different accessories that you can get with the Ghost controls that are sold separately, but I'm just showing you what came in my kit. So we're just going to do the dual gate opener, and we're going to put in the battery box and wire this thing up. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys. I'm going to assemble a little bit of this hardware, and then we're going to put this on the gate. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and assemble a little bit of this hardware. So the hardware that I'm going to assemble will be the brackets. These brackets go on the post themselves. Okay, we're gonna take our kit. So these long bolts here, we're not gonna use. We need this piece, this piece, I'm gonna take out that pin. So the only pieces we're going to use, these long pieces, we're not going to use those. We're not going to drill all the way through the post. I got some lag bolts that I'll show you guys what I'm going to use for that. Set that down. So we got those pieces. So to get this thing assembled, upright like so. Okay, so we're going to take this piece here. I'm going to take this spacer. Probably better if I flip it upside down. Got to add one more spacer. So I'm going to go ahead and get these brackets set up like this. We got to do the other side. We're not going to use these long bolts. I have some lag bolts that I'm gonna use instead. I'm gonna just set those to the side there. Stick those to the side. So we're gonna take our bracket. We're gonna take these two long pieces. Okay. Take one off. Push the bracket through. Like that. Take a washer. And we're going to tighten all this down once we get it installed on the gate itself. So as you can see, we're going to get these. This is going to go on the post, okay? And then we're going to put another bolt in here once we get everything set. So once we get everything set, we're going to put another one in the bracket as well, okay? So those two will go on the two brackets. So let's go ahead and work on getting these brackets installed on the gate so we can get the arms attached. Then I'm just going to mark a straight line across. So I mark my line here. And all I have to do is put the bracket there because the arm is going to attach to this bar. Then I'm going to take my and it's probably a good idea to open the gate because we want to make sure that this is going to be 4 inches from the gate itself. We got it level. Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna take my drill and I just want to start. I'm just gonna start some holes. Now with these long bolts that came in the kit, they want you to drill it all the way through and bolt it down. But I picked up some lag bolts. I paid for these separately, and I'm just going to use these lag bolts. I mean, they came with the long bolts if you want to drill them all the way through. I'm just going to go with my lag bolts that I picked up. draw a line from the first line that I drew. You want it to go across, level as possible. Make sure this thing is level as possible. So as you guys can see, I got it level, perfectly level. Okay, and these brackets are going to go all the way over, straight in line with this tube. They came with the long bolts that you can actually drill through, but we're not going to use these bolts because I purchased my own lag bolts at Home Depot. So that looks pretty level. As you guys can see, that is perfectly level there. And just do the same to the other side. Make sure it's in line with your tube that you're gonna attach the arm to. Okay, so just long as you put the bracket in line with a tube that you want to use to swing the gate open. Next, I'm gonna take one of the control arms, the one with the shortest cord. It's gonna be the location where the box is gonna be mounted. So I'm gonna mount the main box on the left side of the gate. And we can put the harder figure back in. Okay. So the next step, we're gonna open the gate up. We're going to open the gate, and basically what we want to do with the gate all the way open, we want this arm here to sit about 4 inches from the tube that we're going to attach to. Okay, so depending on the 4-inch mark is where we're going to put the last piece of hardware. So I'm going to go ahead and open the gate, open it all the way to where you want the gate to stop when it opens up. Okay. Okay, so my mark would be that third slot there. Take a washer, go on the bottom. So the objective is to get at least 4 inches from these center holes here to the tube. As you can see, I'm about 4.5. Okay, you want at least 4 inches. I'm gonna go 4.5. I got down to 3 pieces. We're gonna take the little white spacer here on the bottom. Now I can put in the carter pin. As you can see, we got the spacers here, got the 2 bolts. We're going to tighten all that up, and this thing is going to come in line with the gate itself. Okay, this is the shortest cord. This is the shortest cord because we're going to put our control box over here in this corner. Okay, so the next step is to attach the control arm to the brackets onto the gate. So for one arm, you got these 2 here. You're gonna have a couple of bolts. It only came with 2 bolts. You would think it would have came with 4, but it came with 2 bolts for each bracket there. Gonna have one of those. Gonna have one of these, and this is what we're gonna use. On each side is identical. The one with the longest cord goes further away from the control box. The arm with the shortest cord goes to the control box. So I'm gonna show you exactly how we get this mounted. So with the gate all the way open, you want to open it up to the point where you want the gate to stop. Now that I have the gate exactly where I want it to stop, I want to measure at least 4 inches from that tube to that center pin. You want at least 4 inches, so I'm going to bring it over to here. That'll put mine at about 4.5 inches. So once you find exactly where you want the gate to stop, you're going to take your hardware, always measure 5 times, cut once. Okay, mine's sitting at about 4.5 inches. I'm going to take my hardware, put my spacer in. I'm about so on mine, my 4-inch mark, actually about 4.5, is at that 3rd slot. I'm going to go ahead and drop in my hardware. I'm going to come back with the nut on the bottom and the washer. We'll tighten all this down once we get everything on here. So you want to make sure you got at least 4 inches from that tube to that center pin. I'm at 4.5, which is good. I'm going to take my arm. I'm just going to mount just like that. Take my pin, and you want to make sure that this little white washer is on the bottom. Take your pin, drop it in. Take your carter pin. Okay, as you can see, that white spacer is on the bottom. So with the gate open to my desired spot, I'm looking at about 4.5 inches to that center pin. We want at least 4 inches. So it's actually best to go ahead and get the hardware set up because this is kind of tight, so we're gonna do it off the gate first. Okay, so the bracket is gonna go like this. You're gonna put one on each side. Take that flat screw, and then trying to get that nut on. Show you a little trick. The best way to do it is kind of hold that screw in position like that, and then turn this U-bolt. You just want to get it on there until it stops. Then you can take your wrench and tighten it down. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. It's gonna be the same on both sides of the gate. Go ahead and put it through. Put your washer. Take the nut. I like to just stick my finger in there and hold that nut. And turn it until I get this thing started. Turn it to that nut stop. I'm gonna tighten these down last. Okay, I just want to get it started just like that. Okay, this short pin, it's gonna go in here. Okay, looking at the brackets, it's gonna attach like this. Okay, you may want to go ahead and tighten those down. I'm gonna leave mine loose for now, because I may need to slide this up or down. Okay, and this thing is going to attach like this. Okay, and then you have this pin with the spacer. Okay, that white spacer is actually going to go on the bottom on the inside, so this can ride on the spacer. So I got the side where we're going to mount the control box mounted, and let's go ahead and do the other side. Washers go on the outside. And like I said, we'll come back and attach this last. Got the brackets here on the gate tube. And once we get everything set, then we'll lock this into position. Now the next thing I need to do is run the wire across the driveway. So I've already dug out a trench, and I'm just gonna run this through some conduit before I actually run this across the driveway. So I'm gonna take these rods and attach them together. These things are called fiberglass wire running kit. I picked these up at Harbor Freight. I want to get at least 10 foot. Pull it out the other side. So as you can see, I have the string running through the conduit, and all I have to do is attach the wiring from the control arm and then pull it through. I'm going to take a little bit of tape. And we're going to just tape these ends. Just pulling the conduit through. I could actually glue the conduit together, but the connections are pretty tight. I don't really have to glue them, but I could just put some glue around these connections here, around each connection that I add to the conduit. I can just glue it on. So So I have the wire pulled through the conduit. Tight. So looking at the conduit, I'm just going to put these brackets on here, and that's just going to keep the conduit in place. But as you guys can see, I got the conduit in the ground. Running to the other side, and I got a couple clamps on each side as well. Just make sure that they're tight. And the thing about this conduit, man, this 1/2 inch conduit is so tight that I'm not even going to use glue on the connections. I mean, it's just really, really tight. And we're going to put the control box over here on this side of the post. I may even put a piece of wood here so you can't see the control arms, so you can't see the control box. So inside of this battery box, the main housing, it's got these little screws, and we're going to use these screws to drill to the wood that's on the fence. And as you can see, it don't have no holes, so I got to make some spots. I got to drill out some hole spots. So I'm going to drill out some spots. I'm just going to drill out. They only gave me 4 screws, so I'm just going to drill out 4 spots. Now I can go with these screws here, which will probably be a lot stronger. So looking at this control box, you got an off and on switch on the bottom. We're gonna leave that off. We got some little spots here that we can run the wire through. We got some little rubber plugs in here. We need to take those out. Some rubber plugs. We're gonna take those out. So right now we're only running 2 wires. We got 1, 2. Okay, so I took that one out. We got a little antenna on the bottom. Got a spot here for your solar. Monitor safety. Hardware inputs. Electronic lock, which we'll do at a later date. First operator, which is the main gate. Second operator, which would be the second gate, since I'm doing dual gates. On the front, jog open, jog open. So they're the same for each gate. Jog open, first set, jog close. Same on this line, jog open. Second set, jog close. You gotta set the auto time. You got a learn button here. And you got some little switches here. Push, pull, off, on, force, stage. So it gives you some different mode options. We'll dive into that once we get this thing mounted. And you have a little clip here. Looks like for some kind of plug that looks like a phone. Not sure what that is just yet. But this is the main housing. We're gonna drill this onto the fence. For the battery, the batteries are already charged. Set that. It came with it. Well, I actually ordered it separately. It didn't come with the box. It didn't come with the gate opener. I ordered it separately. So we have these connectors here, and these are going to plug into the battery. It's already labeled for you, red and black, which is positive and negative. So we got one for each battery. We got a fuse in here. Looks like a 20 amp fuse, a yellow fuse. So these are going to connect to the battery. I see this key here. We'll set that to the side. We got some more hardware here. We got a red battery cable here. Certification sticker. Looks like we got a mounting plate. And we have an additional lock. So we'll set that to the side. And this battery box does not have any holes drilled. So we're gonna have to get some holes drilled on this battery box. want to make sure this thing is sitting level. Make sure it's sitting level. So looking at the boxes, I got the boxes mounted. As you guys can see, here is the main control box, and this is the battery box. There's my leveler. Got this thing leveled. Same here. There's pretty level. So all I have to do now is tie in the controls. We're gonna just do one gate first. So I'm gonna get the battery hooked up and try to see if we can tie in these controls. I think this is about the best we can do here. So basically what I'm going to do, we got to put these batteries in here and see if we can back this camera out just a little bit. We can make it where you can see. I'm going to put these batteries in here. Slide up here at the top. Red, black. Same here. Red, black. Okay, and these are going to tie into the batteries. So this is the cable coming off the bottom of the battery box, and this here is going to plug into the circuit board. Go up just a little bit right there, so it's going to plug into the circuit board. So basically, the way this is going to work. This is going to be in here like this. See if we can go up the side. Just a little bit better. That off, feed it through. These kind of like flare open. Push that up in there like that. These are going to twist back on here. Feed this up. And this is going to tie into red on red. And black on black. Okay, there we go. Got that pushed in. I'm gonna tuck that in out the way. I'm gonna run it down. I'm gonna go around this little corner here, back it out. And now all I have to do now is tie this into the battery. Make sure that the switch on the bottom is off. Okay, it is off. I'm gonna put my battery last. We'll tie that in a moment. This is the wire that's coming from the gate on the other side. So we got 2 spots here, and I'm gonna try to see if I could get both cables in both spots. Not sure if that's gonna work. This is gonna be the left cable. We're not gonna hook it up yet. This is the right cable. That's closer to the main box. So what I'm going to do, take off this little cap, push it through. I'm not sure if I could get 2 cables through there. It's kind of tight. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get both cables up through there. I don't think we can. Yeah, that's... So these things are just big enough just to put really pretty much 1 wire through. Okay, so this goes to the other side. We're not going to hook that up yet. This is the side that's closer to the circuit board. Feed that up through for now. So put that there. Back this out just a little bit so I don't have to make any cuts. And this stuff is labeled for you, okay? Red, black, white, and green, and it tells you right here on the front. Let me lift this up just a little bit. My camera dies. Okay, red, black, green, and white. So, now it came with this little screwdriver that you can use for those little screws. I got my own little screwdriver, and we're gonna hook this up according to the colors. Okay, we're gonna do red first. Go ahead and back out on some of these screws. Just gonna back out on some of these screws. I didn't hook the battery up yet. I'm gonna do it in a little bit. I'm gonna get this tied in first. Okay, I'm gonna push in on the red. Let me try the little screwdriver that they use. This actually feels pretty good. I'm gonna go with black. Push it all the way. Next one says green. I'm gonna go in green. And the next one is white. So we need to get the white over here. tight down the white. Give it a little pull just to make sure they're in. Got our antenna right here. We got a spot here for the solar power, monitor safety, hardware inputs, electronic lock, the first operator gate, second operator gate. This is the slots that are closer to the main box. This is the slot that's farther away. So I have my red, my black, my green, my white tied in. Next, I'm going to go ahead and connect the battery. Okay, on the battery, I'm going to go here. There we go. That's it right there. So we got black on black, red on red. Tuck that away in the battery box. Gonna add our label. Okay, we got the battery box connected. We've got the switch in a pull configuration. I'm gonna turn that little warning beep sound off. You got a safety mode, I'm gonna leave that on, and dual open, I'm gonna leave that on. You got a couple of bolts in there that has to be tightened, which I got those tight. It's best to tighten those before you even put this brackets across the tube. So now that I have this thing opened up to my desired position, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the bottom. It's a little switch under here. I'm gonna turn it on. See. Okay, you heard the beeps. Battery condition, battery status. Okay, one of the first things you want to do when you first turn this thing on, you want to check before you even attach this arm. You want to take this arm off, press the button, kind of let it come out, press it again, and then once it retracts all the way in, that's the stopping point. Okay, so I have mine to a pull configuration. So now that I got the brackets on here, I turn the switch on the bottom. We're gonna go ahead and set the jog close button. So you're gonna press it and hold it, and then once I find the desired position, I'm gonna press that set button in the middle. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, the gate is closing, and once we get it in that desired position, we're gonna press that middle set button. I'm gonna stop it almost. little bit more, close. And then I'm gonna hit that set button. Hold the set button. That means it's set. So now when I press the button, I'm gonna let it open up all the way. It's gonna stop on its own. Okay. That beep means that it's confirmed. I'm gonna go ahead and close the gate and make sure that it stopped exactly where I set it. And I'm gonna turn off that beeping sound. That's just a warning. We can turn it off on the board. Stop right where I set it. Right there. Perfect. So that number 2, we can turn that little number 2 switch off. And now we don't have that annoying beeping sound. So let's try to open this up again. And then I'm gonna tighten down the hardware. We're gonna connect the other side, and then we're gonna bury the conduit. Okay, we didn't get that annoying beep. To close it, press the button. All right, right where we got it set. And we're gonna do the same to the other side. The top row is the first, that's the one closer to the main board, and then the second row is the other Ghost control. So we're going to tighten up the rest of our hardware. We're going to make sure we got all our hardware tight, and then we're going to start on the other side, and we're going to get it connected up to the second operator. The second operator, feed it through. And I'm just going to push it up through the hole here on the bottom. Just going to push it up through and then pull it back down. Again, everything is color coded for you: red, black, green, and white. So it doesn't matter which end you start on. Trying to keep this camera in the shade because it's really hot out here. So I'm going to unscrew some of these flathead screws. This thing just don't want to do right. Plugging out red. I'm gonna plug in our black. Plug in our green. And we're going to plug in our white. Make sure everything's nice and tight.
Then next we're going to screw up on and tighten this thing down. Keeps it in place. Nice and tight.
So next we can tighten up the second operator gate, and then we're gonna power it on and make sure everything is working. So let's put the hardware on the second operator gate. Go ahead and turn the power on because I need to open this out, let it come back in, and that's to make sure that it's closed. I'm gonna stop it again, press it to come back in. And we're gonna let it retract all the way in, and then that'll be the set point where we set the gate open. Tighten up on my hardware. Now that I got that tight, I'm gonna go ahead and put the arm, make sure that white washer is on the bottom. Put in my clip. And now I can tighten this down. And all I have to do now is set the limit on this side, okay, and then I can go ahead and bury that trench. I just want to make sure that this side is working before I bury the trench. So for the second gate, I'm just going to press where it says jog close. In fact, let me turn on the beeping sound first. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and press jog close for the second gate, set the limit on it. See, the gate is closing. Should bad back out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bury this trench and then we'll get the gate limit set. Be a pretty good spot for the solar panel, and with the solar panel you need to point it to the south. Just like that. And now we can wire the solar panel in. I got the solar hooked up, red and black. Okay, so now I can turn on the power switch here on the bottom. So I got everything connected on the gate, and so I'm going to set the delay for when the gate closes, and I'm gonna show you how everything has came out. So what I'm going to do, we got everything set up. I'm gonna take my control, first gate's open first, then the second gate actually open. Also, one of the things I want to show you is that little kick plate down on the bottom. That little plate will keep both gates together. Okay, we got a little U-boat and a little plate there. So I'm going to set this little time here. The timer starts once the gate fully opens. I'm going to press the button. Now the gate should close after a certain amount of time. I'm saying anywhere between 15 seconds. I could take my stopwatch and actually time it. I'll check that here in a second. And it should close on its own, but I'm gonna go ahead and close the gate. Well, it's doing it itself. It's starting to close. The left side closed first. Then the right side closes. And that little plate will bring them together. I can always add a locking mechanism later. It's not really needed. And I can adjust this out a little bit. So I'm gonna adjust it out just a little bit. I'm gonna open the first gate just a little bit. I'm gonna open the second gate. I'm gonna close the first gate just a little bit. Close it. I'm gonna hit set. Once you hit set, it sets both of them. You don't have to do both. Well, I think you can do one, but you can do both. I'm going to turn off that beeping sound. Okay? That way you don't get that annoying beep. So as you can see, everything is hooked up. I'll add a locking mechanism later. I'm going to hit the button. First one's open up. I'm gonna actually time it to see how fast it actually closes. The timer starts once the gate's open. Just give it that a few seconds and see how long it takes to actually close. Here we go. So once the gate fully open is when I hit the timer. Once the gate comes to a stop, I'm gonna go ahead and hit my timer. And I got it set for somewhere around about 15 seconds or so. Actually, the timer starts when you hear the beep. So once the gate opens up and you hear a beep, that's when your timer starts. So I got mine set. We'll double check it and see how many seconds that I have mine set to. Just gonna give it a few more seconds. So at about 25 seconds, mine go to close. So this is gonna complete my video on installing the Ghost controls on a dual gate. It's a lot simpler if you have one gate or one long gate, but I've already put down 2 gates. I'll include a link where I picked up my Ghost control gate opener in the description of this video. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, be sure to put that down in the comment section below. Also, stay tuned to the channel. I will be adding some later accessories like Bluetooth device, like an electronic lock, just some different accessories that you can actually add to the Ghost control gate opener. So this is going to complete my video. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, hey, click the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Thank you.